Bonjour et bienvenue, class 8. Welcome to a new grammar lesson on contracted articles today, les articles contractés. Now, contracted articles, it may seem like a big term, but it's very simple. It's basically when the two place prepositions are and de. Okay, are is to or at, and de is from or of. When these two place prepositions come in contact with a definite article, that is le, la, l apostrophe, le, then it changes its form sometimes. And what you get is the resultant contracted article. Okay, it's not very difficult, so let's look at how it works. Let's start with the first one, that is are. Okay, when are comes in contact with a definite article, what happens? So think of it as when are comes in contact with each of the four definite articles, that is le, la, l apostrophe and le, the reaction is different. Okay, so whenever you have are plus le, that means you're trying to say to the, okay, or at the, because all the definite articles mean the. So whenever you're getting are plus l apostrophe, you will not have are lu in this sentence because that is not allowed. Okay, instead you will have to put o, au. Instead of are plus l, you will have to put o. Okay, then whenever you have are coming in contact with la, that's fine, it's allowed. You keep it as a la. Okay, to the. Then when you have are coming in contact with l apostrophe, that's also allowed. So you can keep it as it is. It'll be are l apostrophe only. Okay. And the last case, when you have are coming in contact with le, that is the plural definite article, it is not allowed. Okay. So you cannot have are le in the sentence. It has to become o aux. Okay. So R plus L is not allowed, it has to become O, and R plus Le is not allowed, it has to become O with an X. Okay, R plus La becomes Ala, normal, R plus Lu becomes Alu, normal. Okay, so let's see some sentences now. So R plus le becomes O, right? So je parle à le professeur. Now, can you see R coming in contact with le? I am speaking to the teacher. Okay, R comes in contact with le, which cannot happen. So whenever you have R and le together, you will have to substitute it with O. Okay, so I am speaking to the professor, which is this O actually means R plus le. Okay, which is to the. So I'm speaking to the teacher. Okay. Nous allons à le parc aujourd'hui. We are going to the park today. So à le, to the. Now when you have à and le coming together, it cannot happen in a sentence. À and le cannot stick together in a sentence. It becomes o. Okay, so nous allons au parc aujourd'hui. So this o is basically a combination of fusion of à plus le. Okay, so that is how you have to read it. O is a combination of à plus le. À means to or at, and le means the. So it's either to the or at the. Okay. Then when a comes in contact with la, that's fine. You keep it as it is. So Roy rend visite à la vieille dame. Roy visits. Roy pays a visit to the old lady. So a plus la coming in contact, that is fine. Okay, it's allowed. So this is a correct sentence. Tu visites tes cousins à la ferme. You're visiting your cousins at the farm. This is again are coming in contact with la, which is allowed. Okay, so are coming in contact with la, excuse me. So when are comes in contact with la in a sentence, that's fine. Okay, you can keep it as it is. But when it comes in contact with la, you have to replace it with o, which is a contracted article. Then when R comes in contact with L apostrophe, that's also fine. You keep it as it is. Je vois les touristes à l'hôtel. So R coming in contact with L apostrophe. I see tourists. I see the tourists at the hotel. Okay, at the. So R plus le. Le serveur sert du vin à l'écrivain. So the waiter serves some wine to the author, to the writer. Écrivain is a writer. So A plus le remains the same. Okay, nothing happens when R comes in contact with la or with L apostrophe. It remains as it is. Now, what happens when R comes in contact with le? Cannot happen. Okay, you cannot have R and le together in a sentence. It has to become O, A-U-X. So, il y a trop de monde à les plages. Can you see R and le coming together, which is not allowed? So, instead of R and le, you will have O-A-U-X. Okay. There are too many people at the beaches. So O is actually ale. Okay, at the. Then, le professeur donne les papiers à les étudiants. The teacher is giving the papers to the students. Can you see a and les coming in contact again, which is not allowed, right? So you will have to replace it with o. Okay, so these are the four contracted articles when you're dealing with a, the placed preposition for to or at. I'll see you in the second part of this video where we'll be discussing the various forms of the, that is from or of. Thank you.